Hey, what is up, you guys? My name is Tootie.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Will.
All right, let's get into it.
Yep.
Let's not even play around with this.
Oh, it's gonna be spoilers,
Let's
y'all.
get
Like
look.
it's
We ain't
yeah.
got time. No spoilers.
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm saying like
Oh,
how
okay.
everybody be like, no spoilers. We ain't got time for all that. Let's
Yeah.
get to it.
Yeah.
Spoilers all the way from now until we get done. So
hmm
if you haven't watched this movie yet,
Turn this off.
don't turn it off.
Go watch the movie
I'm gonna give you some time.
and then come
All right. So the last time we were talking about anything Fantastic Four related, it was in our previous Superman review where we kind of did like a little mashup of
back.
speaking on Superman and what we're expecting to see coming up
In Fantastic Four.
in Fantastic Four. Thank you.
hmm
And I looked in the camera and I said a lot of times when y'all say a movie is good, it don't be.
hmm
Y'all were right this
Y'all
time.
right
I'm
this
so
time.
proud of y'all.
Good
I
job,
am
man.
so proud of y'all because I don't want to say I was worried about this movie. I wasn't worried about the movie. I was just more so like, okay, can we finally start getting to what we're getting to? Like,
hmm
cause Thunderbolts was good. It was just heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what the problem was because how it tackled depression and using the void to describe depression as a void
hmm
and that actually being an actual superhero, not superhero,
Anti-villain.
anti-hero
Yeah.
in this. I thought it was well done for sure, but it was
Yeah.
just too heavy for where we trying to go at this point. Uh, you sent me something somebody perfectly described Fantastic Four. They said,
Talking about with the axe, tear the axe.
yeah,
Yeah, it was. Seen somebody tweet. I'm gonna try to find the tweet and put it down here, and if I can't, forgive me. Somebody say the first. If you look at this movie in three phases, the first act was good. No, the first act was great. The second act, all time fucking
cinematic.
cinematic, all time excellence. They was in space and all of this stuff like that. And the third act was good, like which, and that's kind of how I look at it. It was three acts, and it was like I said, the first act was like really good. The second act was kind of second act was all world, all time, like some of the best cinema we've seen from especially from Marvel in a long time. And the third act was good. So yeah, man, that's kind of how I looked at this movie. I like the fact that it came on and it got to it. I think if we look at some of our the so quote unquote favorite or the best Marvel movies, they always come on and get right to it. Like for me, that's
Mm-hmm.
Captain America: Winter Soldier, like Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Even Endgame was a little slower, but we already kind of knew what was going on because of Infinity War. Like some of the Shang Chi, like a lot of these like highly respected or highly like what's the word I'm looking for? Like highly
Anticipated.
yeah, well, the movies that everybody likes always get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Like they come on and they get straight to it. And I love that they didn't waste no time. In the preview that we did for this video, I was kind of worried about the runtime,
Mm-hmm.
but I can come back and say that this movie was very well paced. Like it didn't have any that many slow parts to it to me. Like it ran pretty good, for the most part. So yeah. When it first came on,
Title cards. Let's
yeah,
start there. Me and him were discussing. That was like one of the best title cards
yeah,
because we always like now we always like looking like man that was a very good title card to do for this. I think our other favorite was I really like Thunderbolt's title card
oh
where it
yeah,
just changed it to the void.
yeah,
That was
that
fire.
shit was yeah.
Um,
The
Captain
T'Challa one,
America
yeah,
from this year's title card
yeah,
was pretty good. It was odd how the movie just started.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you, but they've been doing it consistently. Like just, all right, here it is, movie on. Like
yeah,
the lights will dim. They'll show one trailer, then the title card will come up and then it's on.
yeah,
I'm like, well, damn, we just gonna go ahead and get
yeah.
to it. Oh, and the T'Challa one
Wakanda
where it
2,
explodes,
yeah,
and then Wakanda 2
yeah,
where it just goes silent.
yeah.
So I still count that as two separate title cards there. But
And the Loki season finale, season 1 was
oh
another good one
yeah,
too.
that's a very good one as well.
But yeah, Fantastic Four, man. Like it comes on. Um, it's kind of like a quick backstory for the first 10-20 minutes. Like it's they're showing they let you know that they've been they've had their powers for like 4 years at this point. They have fought like various of their normal adversaries over
Street
those
level
street level villains.
villains.
Yes, it showed like how they've been who they are for the past 4 years. All the street level villains that the classic street level villains that they fought. Was it
Red Ghost
Red
and
Ghost,
and the apes.
the Red Ghost and the Apes, the Wizard, Mole Man, which he played a pretty big role.
What
In
was the one that came out the ground? The one we kept seeing in the Little Caesars commercial. I can't remember the name,
I
but
can't think
they
of
actually
his name.
showed.
Giganto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they showed Giganto.
which looked way better from the commercial. But yeah,
Yeah, cause who really finna spend a high budget on Giganto looking how he's supposed to look in a pizza commercial?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Little Caesars if you ever want to sponsor us, but but yeah, but yeah. I have like 3 points I want to touch on. I'm gonna let Will finish because I'm gonna hop in. Um, Matter of fact, one of the points that I want to touch on when it comes to the runtime, because a lot of people were saying that it was rushed in the beginning. I think people, I think what's happening a lot of times in movies, like there's small details that you miss. And when you used to seeing, especially, we don't really get a lot of new movies. A lot of movies we're getting are either remakes or part one, part two, part three, part four. So you already go into the movie feeling like, well, I know who the Fantastic Four is. I know how they got their powers, all this stuff. We just seeing the movie done from Matt Shackman's lens. I don't think a lot of people's paying attention to 4 years later.
Yeah.
So if people are saying, I didn't like how it seemed like they were all one character. They've had 4 years to sit into their powers
to build
and
chemistry with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like me and Tooties were talking about this the other night. It's like a lot of people were critiquing they were saying Johnny wasn't teasing the thing enough.
Yeah.
Like he was in the like the Chris Evans Johnny Storm did in the 2000s one. But my point to that is like Tooties had brought up a good point. They had just became who they were. They just gotten their powers. It's like, okay, maybe when this current iteration of the Fantastic Four got their powers, Johnny was teasing him a lot, and then just over time, he stopped teasing them and stopped being so sensitive to Johnny making jokes, and they just found a happy medium. Like to go back on what Tooties was saying, it's like they've been doing this for 4 years already, so their chemistry is pretty much where it needs to be because they fought all of their street levels. They've been doing this for a while, so I think Matt
Shackman.
Yeah, I think he did a very good job of and the cast like to have that kind of chemistry, and to show how long they had already been doing this prior to Galactus showing up. I thought that was one of the best parts of the film. The chemistry was amazing.
And what kind of helped the perspective for me as well going into this movie. Me and him actually watched the Josh Trank version of Fantastic Four, which we were talking about in the previous video, the Superman and Fantastic Four breakdown. And we also went back and watched the Jessica Alba, Chris Evans. We watched 1 and 2 with Silver Surfer. And going into this movie, like I was telling Will, I was like, if you really look at these movies, and I know people are like, we don't count the other ones, you kind of have to in the sense of the runtime for this movie, First Steps, is only an hour and 59, right?
Yeah, like 55, something like that.
So if you feel like it was rushed and you didn't get enough time to spend with them, it's because I think everybody now is trying to do the whole, you already know the backstory. You don't need to see them get their powers again,
like
which
James
I
Gunn did
love.
Superman.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
We don't need to see the cosmic waves and all of this coming through.
Yeah.
We saw Ben punch through the shuttle that was in the water, let you know they got their powers.
Yeah.
Boom. Next thing we see Reed stretching, whatever. To go back to my point with the other movies, if I had to rank these movies in order, especially based off of the Johnny teasing Ben, and it wasn't as much in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and the 4 years later thing. I said I would put Josh Trank's version at, you know, at the top, not ranking it in best or anything like that.
In
They were
order, kind of like in
teenagers.
order.
Yeah, if you
Okay,
watch these movies in that order,
yeah,
it'll help you appreciate the fact that these people have sat in their powers.
they've been a team for 4 years.
Yeah, it's like a slow growth progression.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Josh Trank's version, they were teenagers.
yeah.
Hell, they didn't even have the part where Doom and Sue's relationship. They didn't really get into it too much,
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of came off as they were arrogant teenagers
Yeah,
because they were portrayed as that. Go over into the Jessica Alba and Chris Evans version. By the time we got to the end of the Silver Surfer, that's when Sue and Reed finally got married.
mm-hmm.
If you go into first steps,
Yeah,
Reed and Sue have been married and have been trying to have a kid for 2 years now.
yeah,
If you follow that
yeah.
order, it'll help you really understand, like, okay, with that runtime and me knowing this, even though these movies don't connect, but they're trying to get away from having to show you,
So
like,
much backstory in the beginning of
yeah,
it.
like,
Yeah,
think of it like that.
yeah.
And it'll kind of help you be like, okay, well, I don't mind the
I
fact
see
that
why Johnny didn't tease Ben as much
because they didn't grew into their powers. At this
yeah,
point, Ben is outside going to the grocery store.
yeah, he's comfortable.
Ben didn't want to go outside in the previous movies.
Yeah, so
So
yeah,
think about it like that. That's how I looked at it.
yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much the first act. The first act was just kind of like a little quick backstory. They find out, like Tootie just said, we find out that Reed and Sue have been trying to have a baby for 2 years and wasn't successful, and then all of a sudden she finds out that she's pregnant. They let Ben and Johnny know.
Which being kind of new.
Which yeah, being kind of new, and basically that's Act One, and then Galactus the Shala Ball shows up.
A herald.
She shows up and lets them know, look, man, yeah, my boy, he kind of wanna eat y'all planet. Ain't really nothing y'all can really do about it.
Cause he ain't eating my planet.
Yeah, hug your kids, hug your wife, hug your baby, kiss your babies, all that shit. Cause we coming. Ain't really nothing y'all can do about it. She shows up. Then, so the second part, which is like I say, some of Marvel's best shit.
Oh man,
Bruh.
they do space so well.
Yeah, so
Ridiculous.
the four, they like, look, man, we finna go to him. We finna go see if we can talk to him or just get some kind of understanding about what's going on. Cause why you trying to eat us, bro? Like, we some good people. We just trying to live and leave our planet alone. What can we do to help you don't eat our planet?
That's always so funny to me.
Yeah.
Man, let's just go talk to him.
Let's just go talk to him. So they go to they go into a black hole, which leads to another dimension because Reed has a signal of his ship. So they find the ship. They get on the ship. And visually, bro, like I don't know what I was expecting with the whole Galactus ship part because I knew that scene was coming. I didn't think they can shoot it that good, like because it's hard to do Galactus, man. Like it's very very hard to do Galactus. Like for him to look so menacing, but it wasn't overbearing with him being so like tall in stature, but at the same time, the screen was it. I I can't explain it. I don't know how the hell they shot that shit. Like it visually it didn't he didn't take away. He was the biggest thing on the screen, but he was it didn't feel like it was too big.
He felt like the perfect size.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's the weirdest thing to say because he's otherworldly tall.
Yeah,
in comparison to seeing Shalabal, the Fantastic Four, down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was like the perfect shot. Like if that could be a poster, if y'all make that a poster, I would definitely buy it.
Yeah.
That was such a fire shot.
So so they get there, they get on the ship. Reed send Herbie to go, get some soil samples and all that shit like that. So they're having a conversation with him. Now he scans them because he's like, who the fuck are these people on my ship? They brave enough to come on my ship. He scans them, and then when he gets to Sue, he goes straight to her belly. You got to remember she's pregnant at this time. So off the rip, he lets them know, like, look, all right, y'all want to live, y'all, I get it. Y'all want me to eat y'all planet. I'm gonna need that baby though.
My baby.
He said, I'm gonna need that baby.
I
Off
ain't
the
even
rip.
had it
And
yet.
of course, Reed is like, fuck that. And so,
Fuck no.
so they get into it with the surfer. The surfer is trying to like really grab Franklin from
That
her
was
womb.
wild.
Like they're chasing, like she's chasing them, and they're trying to get away in the ship. So they get on their ship. Go ahead, go ahead.
Side note,
Yeah.
before you keep going, because one of the most important parts of when they first got on the ship is Johnny actually had something to do this whole movie. The previous movies we didn't really see much for Johnny to do other than just bursting the flames.
Yeah.
But Johnny, the Silver Surfer spoke to Johnny when she first came to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
He flew up into space, held on to her surfboard. She spoke in her native language.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, Johnny was on a mission to figure out what the hell is she talking about because I've heard this language somewhere before.
Yeah.
He separated from the group when they got on the ship to go ask her, what is it that you said to me? She told him, and by him knowing that and still remembering exactly where he didn't remember exactly where he heard the native tongue from. He just knew it was on those records and from recordings that they had got when they were there. Yeah. That's very important to the story.
Yeah. So basically, you know, Galactus tell him, what he needs for him to spell the world. Reed and Sue and everybody's like, fuck that. So they trying to. So of course, he like, I'm finna take y'all baby anyway. He sends Shalabal to go get them. So they get back. They manage to get back in the ship. She's fucking chasing them through a fucking wormhole or black whatever the fuck it was.
That was my favorite.
Which
shot.
is like, I'm like, bro, I'm talking about she's surfing on fucking lava, surfing through the fucking wormhole. Like this shit
that
is
was
like
my favorite shot of the whole
otherworldly, like crazy. So just like in pretty much every movie, when people are trying to get around the black hole, they use the force from the black hole to kind of swing around to get to a certain point to jump back into their universe or to their dimension or whatever you want to call it. So they get away from Shalabal. They suck her into a wormhole. She's gonna take her a month to get out. So they buys them some time until her and Galactus shows back up. So now we get to the third act, or the back
when
half
they
of the
came
second
back,
act, yeah,
they came
which
back.
was some like really really good as well.
Yeah, because it took them a month.
Yeah, it took her a month to get out the black hole.
No, I'm talking about them because they showed another time. It was either a month later or 2 months later.
Yeah, to get back.
For them to get back.
Well, that's what I was kind of confused at because I was like, I think from like, okay, if we watched them go into space until they got back home, it was a month for us. But I don't think it took that long for them to do everything that they did. I just think by the time they got back, it was
yeah, but still, they put that on the screen to let you know it had been a month later because people were excited by the fact that she's come back with the baby.
Yeah.
And then missing the whole part of Sue having the baby.
She actually had the baby. She has Franklin in space, which is crazy. So
mind you, Reed was telling her to just push. I'm like, she still got her pants on. What?
Yeah, that was kind of. But yeah,
that part I was like, all right, they coming back to the part where Reed don't know what the heck he's doing.
Yeah, so they get back on Earth. Of course, the people of 828 universe thinking that they went up there and took care of everything because, like, they taking care of everything else.
They back,
yeah. So
we say
press conference set up. Reed gets up there. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, did you defeat Galactus? He's like, no, not necessarily. He's like, what? Okay. So what happened? He kind of asked for a price that's kind of too high, and what we would, he asked for a price that's too high, basically. And they was like, well, what he asked for? He asked for our baby, and everybody was like, because it was kind of weird, because the one reporter was looking like, well,
why the hell you ain't give him the baby?
Give him the goddamn baby, and it's like, because everybody was thinking it. It was just that one reporter was like.
And they zoomed in on purpose.
Hey, hand that motherfucker over. I'm like, no, man, you can't hand the damn baby over. So of course, Franklin and Sue, Reed and Sue are like, nah, we can't hand the baby over. They let the people know we're gonna figure out another way to do it. So at this point of the movie, this is probably the point to where people might, if it was kind of a quote unquote slow point, it'll be the frame between when Galactus comes back to actually to eat the planet or to grab Franklin, and now to where Reed and the team is trying to figure out what the fuck are we going to do, because We've already tried to negotiate with him. He's not trying to negotiate. We tried talking to him. He wants Franklin. So, and the good one of the best parts about it, a part that we missed. He wants Franklin because he basically wants Franklin to take over his hunger. Like he's Galactus. He has to feed off planets. He's been doing it for billions of years, and he's tired. He's tired. He wants Franklin. He sees Franklin has the power to kind of take over for what he's been doing. So he wants to use
power cosmic.
Yeah, he wants him to take over and let him so he can finally go. And,
which is crazy.
Yeah, like because I guess it has to be somebody's got to be the person eating up all these planets.
Just let it die with you.
Yeah. So
at this point of the movie, we see some of the craziest theories. Cause honestly, I like the fact that they made the Fantastic Four realistic at this point. I don't know what to do to defeat this dude. Yeah. I don't know. Like
Reed has like no answers. He's trying to figure it out.
Franklin?
Yeah.
If you do have powers like Galactus says, son, that would be the time.
Yeah, like they
help me.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's go through all these ideas. What was one idea? Well, one of the ideas was to flee. I would have left. That would have been so bad. No, but what ended up happening, it was cool, but it's like, because the people outside, they still mad. Like, give up the baby. It's like, give up your own damn baby.
Yeah. And that was one of my favorite parts. So So Sue, you know, her and Reed are going back into it because she can tell. Like Reed is actually thinking. He wasn't gonna give Franklin up, but which is understandable. She was mad that it did cross his mind because, and
he's a scientist. He's rational.
And that's what he told her. He was like, I have to think of every possible scenario, even the ones that people don't want to think about. I have to think about it to kind of solve some of this stuff. That's what makes us who we are. That makes him who he is. And you know, she could tell it was a heavy tone on all four of them because Johnny's still trying to decipher the language. You know, Ben is still trying to figure out what's going on with him in his head, and he's trying to be, you know, Ben is just taking care of Franklin. He's just being the uncle to kind of give Reed and Sue some space so they can, you know, figure out whatever they need to figure out. Give Reed enough time to where he can figure out how we gonna fucking beat, you know, Galactus. He's coming. We got less than a month and he'll be here. So throughout this whole time, the public is just going crazy. They're like, every news bit is about what would a Fantastic Four do? Would they give a Franklin? Blah, blah, blah. So Sue just, and it just, way it transition, I'm like, maybe I blinked or looked away from the screen. I just see her walking outside. She just walks out the back of the building. News reporters
I think they were looking out the window.
Okay, maybe. I might have missed that part.
She said, I forgot what she said, but she said something to them, and then that's when she just was walking.
She got baby Franklin. She just walks out into a sea of people, gets in front of the Fantastic Four statue, and
hit us with that Drake line.
Yeah, she basically just like, look, man, I'm not giving my fucking baby up, but I'm not finna give y'all up either. I'm not giving
up my son for the world.
Yeah.
But I won't sacrifice the world for my son.
Boss.
I said, hit us with that Drake line. Oh, Sue,
so,
they eat up anything Sue say, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, cause, and that's one thing I do like about this movie too, because they did a great job of individualizing the four. Like,
yeah, she had more of a voice.
Yeah, she was basically a world leader. Like, Sue was a world leader. Ben was just a protector of his neighborhood and protector of the entire group, which that's pretty much.
He was the spokesman, I would say.
He's pretty much the spokesman. Johnny he wasn't too much of a ladies' man like he was in the earlier ones, but Johnny is the publicity. He's the.
I would damn near say the comic relief when things get too serious.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in aspects of like his day-to-day job. Johnny is he's gonna be the one doing the commercials. He's gonna be the one
action figures in the cereal.
He's gonna be
he's the face.
He's the face of the Fantastic Four, and then Reed is just Reed. He's the scientist. So I thought they did a very good job in a 2-hour runtime of individualizing everybody's characters or who they are as people instead of the power. So I like that part too.
Yeah, and to just kind of move this along a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, basically what Reed ends up deciding to do was some of the craziest work, very risky.
Yeah,
He had already been working on transferring the egg from one side of the room to the other.
he
My
was
boy
working on
had the
like transporting matter. That's what he was like. Actually, he had like a little set where he was actually trying to figure out how to transport matter. So yeah.
and that's what the Reed in Josh Trank, that's what he was doing in his, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty dope because I'm like
Yeah.
they kind of brought it back around. Was that one of his first things that he was
Yeah.
working on
When he went to
in
the
all
school
of?
fair.
No, no, no. I'm talking about in the one with Jessica Alba. Was he working on that? I think by that point he was trying to sell them on just going to space to just do the project of them.
Yeah, but it was a bigger meaning. I forgot. We just watched it.
Yeah,
And I forgot.
but it wasn't the transfer of the matter part. They
I don't
brought
think
that
so.
back. So he was transferring matter, and he was working on the egg where he transferred the egg from one side to the other side of the room. So he had these mini portals,
Mm-hmm.
and this man and got everybody really. He worked on it, put it together scientifically. Sue, being the world leader that she was, called a world meeting and got everybody on board to also build these humongous portals in
Mm-hmm.
different spots of the world
Mm-hmm.
so they could transport Earth.
To another universe out to where Galactus, which was
Because I think
crazy.
Ben or Johnny brought up, well, what if we transport into a black hole? Then what? It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
well,
like
what else we gonna do?
it's better than being, But yeah, man. So they they got these portals set up all across the world. They getting ready to launch this stuff. Like everybody's on the court. Like they got a curfew to shut out, shut off your lights at like 7 o'clock worldwide to conserve power because this is a heavy. Like you're trying to move a planet. You know,
You gotta conserve
you
all the
gotta
energy
you
you
need all the
can.
energy you can. So right when they get ready to do it, they fire it up. And I'm telling y'all, this shit was actually going to fucking work. Which I was like, this shit ain't. I knew it wasn't going to work, but I didn't think it wasn't going to work because of the way it didn't work. It was
Man,
going to work. It's just
she came back guns blazing.
that month was up, and she came back. Knocked Shalabal comes back flying, knocked the portals out in Paris, I think, and in another country.
Instantly.
Like she's knocking out all the portals.
Surfing
So
on water for real.
yeah, she's knocking out
That
all the
shit was
portals.
fire too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
If y'all was talking shit about Charlotte Ball, I don't know. She did her thing.
yeah, she did.
Julia Garner did her thing in the
She
movie.
did. And so she knocks out all the portals, so she's on her way to New York to knock out the last one. And what happened? So basically, they're like, man, now we got to get out here and just basically fight now because now they know that she's coming strictly for, um,
Galactus is pretty much coming.
yeah.
They was tracking him the whole time.
Mm.
Like by the time he got to
Oh yeah,
Mars,
yeah, yeah.
then he got by the moon. So they already knew
They knew
it'll be a
exactly
matter
where
of
he
time
was.
before he's here.
Yeah.
In between that time, they at least thought about the people of where they live.
Mm.
Throughout this time, Mole Man was in the movie in
Yeah.
certain parts. So Sue had already worked out an agreement with him for him to have his own underground world, and she was the only one who could talk to him about, all right, let our people from the surface level stay down here
Yeah.
underground until we figure out how to get Galactus up out of here. I
Yeah.
thought that was dope.
Yeah, that was dope. Like Sue was a very important
The
part. Like
people was
her,
just like, get me up out of this
her
dirt.
being able to be diplomatic like helped them out a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically, Shala's here. Oh, big part of the movie is what like Tootie said earlier with Johnny. He wasn't just some ladies' man, hard
Dumbed
headed kid,
down.
dumbed down kid. Um, when she shows up to New York to get ready to knock that pillar down, Johnny's like, has her native language like transcribed over all the screens in like Times Square, and he like blast them all at one time,
Because
so
he
she
had
can
figured
hear.
out
He
what
figured
her
out
native,
her
where she
native,
was
yeah,
from.
where she was from, her native language. So which is crazy.
And all of the
Yeah, he got all the
places.
places of like at the time because Reed was able to somehow. He had a transmitter in space to where anytime something in space goes down in different universes, he would at least get some kind of audio, and he had them like on these gold vinyl records. So Johnny
Which was
figured out the
nice.
language and transcribed them to where she can hear all the pain that her and Galactus had been causing over the past, I don't know, hundreds of years. I'm guessing. So
Cause he said he was once their size billions of years ago.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
they've been, Galactus been doing this thing for like a long time. Yeah. So Johnny's transcribing all these messages. She's hearing all this pain she's caused, and she kind of blacks out for a minute. She's like, man, it works. Like Johnny was basically able to save the last portal in New York, right in Times. Well, I guess you can call it Times Square. I'm
Yeah,
not from New York.
might as well.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, that's Times Square in
yeah,
our real world. I
yeah,
don't know what they were calling it then, but they
yeah. So he saves that the last portal, which is very important. He stops her from knocking that one down like she did the ones in the rest of the world. So she flies back out into space because she's kind of like messed up because she's been doing all
she
this
feels
killing.
bad.
She feels she's
In between this
starts to feel
time, we
bad.
get a flashback of what Charlotte Ball looked like before she got turned into the
Yeah.
Silver Surfer. The planet she lived on, I think they had like 3 moons, and she was like a doctor, or she was a scientist,
Engineer or something like that.
yeah, and she was walking on the beach with her child, and then that's when Galactus was about to devour her world, and she made a deal, and he made her his herald, and right then and there, just full on Dawn Silver with the surfboard.
Yeah.
Dang.
So she leaves. So Galactus is like, man, I guess I got to do everything myself. He shows up again visually. Like I didn't think that they could pull it off. Like it was very realistic. The way he moved. Like just think about a 300 foot. Because he resized himself to be like at least he was still taller than the tallest buildings, like way taller than the tallest buildings. But it felt practical. It didn't seem like it was. It was a lot of CGI, but it still felt real. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, because
Like
I know
him
they
brushing
said
against the buildings when he was
they
walking.
did that on one of those smaller built setups.
Okay, yeah.
So
You
it's
can
like the
tell.
little tiny homes just to in,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
insinuate
Yeah.
his height. That boy made me mad when he jumped out of his ship
Yeah, like
and landed in that water.
yeah, he
Why
jumped
did you
off the
do
ship
that?
and just lands like
And then looked at the Statue of Liberty like,
yeah, he's like towering over the Statue of Liberty. And so he scans the city, sees that because damn they had Franklin in the middle of the city, right by the portal. So the plan was okay. She knocked down the rest of our fucking portals, like I was saying earlier. He was gonna actually be able to transport the Earth. The shit was going to work if Silver Surfer didn't knock out the other portals. So now they're gonna use this one last portal that Johnny was able to save by guilt shaming the Surfer. They're gonna use the last portal to transport Galactus anywhere but fucking here. We don't know what the fuck we sending him. We finna just put this motherfucker. Yeah, send him and we'll deal with him if he comes back later. So, but they're using Franklin as bait because they know that's the one thing that he wants. So they got Franklin in the protected stroller or whatever you want to call it.
The car seat.
Car seat in the middle of the portal. And the plan was he walks to the portal, and then as soon as he gets to the portal, they distract him, get Baby Franklin out, send his ass on, blah, blah, blah.
Johnny shot fire into Galactus's eyes to visually impair him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so
they did it too soon for me.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, he already scanned Sue's stomach before she even gave birth, so I think he could scan. Then Franklin crying, her being there doing like the little bunny ears, like
yeah. So they, it doesn't work because Galactus sees what they're doing, so he knows that this is the trick. So he starts scanning the city again, and by that time, Johnny got Herbie and Franklin in the Baxter building. Galactus scans the Baxter building, sees they're in there. So they're like trying to scramble. So everybody's trying to stop him from getting to the Baxter building. He gets basically grabs Franklin out of the goddamn building with his hand, takes him out of his car seat, just got him in his hand like that. So now it's just do whatever the fuck we can to save our goddamn baby. So Reed is doing all his stretchy shit. Ben is knocking shit over.
That boy
Johnny's trying
to the tall grass.
Yeah, Ben is trying to throw a crane or something at him, and he grabs the end of the crane and just launches him into the fucking cosmos.
Thinking he finna toss Ben to the water in the Hudson or something. Yeah. He threw him out of the stratosphere.
He threw his ass to fucking Xandar or some goddamn way. So it's like, So Johnny goes to go. Of course, that's my boy. Let me go get my boy. So he grabs him and they're flying back in. So at this time, Galactus is just having fun with Reed. He just playing with his ass like a little fucking rubber band.
Unwillingly
Like he
stretching
just like
this man
stretching
out.
shit out of him. So Reed being it's gonna sound weird. Reed being stretched is kind of like amusing Galactus, but it kind of it's a distraction to when Johnny and Being come down and he says the famous line is clobbering time.
Um, the thing comes down, knocks into Galactus. Doesn't really do much. Galactus is holding on to these buildings, which I thought was like so crazy because these buildings shouldn't even be able to hold you. Whoever did the infrastructure, great job.
Yeah.
Uh, at this point, this is when Sue was like, "Look, full on Mama Mo," because he knocked her into a building and really knocked her out cold, and then
Yeah.
she woke up like, "Oh, he got my baby." Hell no.
Yeah.
This woman didn't build a whole force field big enough for Galactus. Now, when we get to this part of the movie, I know a lot of people were like, Galactus was defeated too easily, and this is where they feel like the third act of the movie is kind of okay.
Yeah.
I just want people to remember, like, when you're dealing with a anti-hero or a villain, this person is coming back.
Yeah.
We know that Galactus is coming back. We just don't know when.
Yeah.
Or maybe the way Marvel is running things right now, maybe he's not coming back.
Yeah.
But how else are they going to end this?
He's too big of a
movie?
character for him to just get sucked into a black hole and it's just it. Like they're not gonna just kill him on screen.
And then it's like you have to think too. Remember, throughout this whole movie, they didn't have a clue what to do with Galactus.
They're improvising. Yeah.
I gotta get rid of him for the time being,
Yeah.
so we can figure this out later.
Yeah.
Maybe we figure it out. Maybe we don't. If he comes back into the atmosphere, we'll deal with it then. I would imagine that they probably rebuild all of these little portals for just in case. But yeah, that's why that was a good description of the movie started out good, middle was cinematic, the third act it was okay or it was good. That's probably why, because of how he's such a big hulking character and he can get bigger than what he is. But how else can we get rid of him?
Yeah, and what he means to the overall Galactus is not some B-level villain. Like, it's Galactus. Like, they're gonna use him again, so you can't get rid of him in this one movie. So yeah, I get what Tootis is saying. Like
like her Sue using all her powers to push him
into
the portal. It worked. They had 37 seconds to do so. They got it done. Sucked that Sue ended up dying, within this time. But it didn't really pull on my heartstrings like that because we already seen the chairs with their name on it for the people who are going to be in Doomsday. So we already knew Vanessa Kirby was coming back. I kind of wish they wouldn't have done that chair thing in that moment, but
they feel like
it didn't put a damper on it. Yeah, it would have made me be a little bit more sad. Like, oh my God, like she just died trying to save her child.
Yeah, I didn't.
And it would have hit harder when Franklin's powers finally powered.
And that's why I didn't really hit. I was into the movie, but I kind of knew Franklin was gonna revive.
Yeah, you could see your father just had a whole baby talk conversation with you about now is the time for your powers. I can kind of foresee that your powers is what's gonna help us in the end. We just don't know how.
Like I've read the comics. Like I know how strong fucking Franklin is, so I kind of knew that he was gonna be able to bring his mom back to life. So, and that's exactly what happened. So Franklin, Reed, Sue's like basically like gone. Reed's trying to CPR. He does that for a little bit. Like Ben grabs him, hey man, she's gone, blah blah blah. So they lay baby Franklin on her chest.
He was reaching for her.
She's laying on her. This little purple, pinkish hue comes from his hand, and Sue wakes up. So, yeah.
Awesome end scene with Reed, Johnny, and Ben fighting over who's putting the car seat in correctly. Because
if any man has ever tried to put in and install any type of baby equipment, it's not as easy as it looks. I absolutely love that scene. I love the fact that they ended the movie off 3 superheroes. One of them is the smartest man alive, and they can't put in a fucking car seat. Loved it.
Because if you dealt with them car seats, 2015 and back, stupidest design. Now they got car seats where it turned into the scroll.
Yeah, it's a little easier now. Back then it was crazy.
Yeah.
So that's
go ahead. Yeah, that's pretty much the movie. Of course, we get the two end credit scenes. I've seen some people say they wish they would have flipped the end credit scenes. I do agree with that, considering how they didn't get a chance to appear on Ted Gilbert's show
Mm,
towards the end. So with them bringing in that cartoon version of the Fantastic Four, I think that would have been like a dope way to end it,
yeah.
and then give us the real end credit scene that we wanted to see. And y'all already know what it was.
Yeah. Uh, Now in a preview, I think in our trailer reaction, I was saying that they didn't really have enough time to build on Doomsday. Everybody know Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom, and at the time when he was announced, it wasn't enough there wasn't enough scheduled movies to kind of you know put him to build like they built to. It wasn't enough stories and enough material to build him going into Doomsday like they did with Thanos going into Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
That was my worry. I still feel like that, but I do appreciate the post credit scene. Like I was telling Tuda, we were talking before the movie what we thought the post credit scene would be. I was like, I know they're gonna give us Doom, but I don't really feel like they gotta give us a lot, which they didn't. They just, I don't know if you want to explain the scene, but
Oh yeah, it was pretty much, they didn't fix the fireplace area,
Baxter
TV and
building,
everything in the Baxter building where Galactus snatched Franklin out.
remodel basically. Yeah.
And yeah, Sue's reading a book to Franklin. Franklin is a little older now. He
Before
can
he's 4, I think he's four
yeah.
or five at this
Yeah,
time.
he looks of walking age. At least
Mm-hmm.
he's talking to her, telling her butterfly and all this type of stuff. And they get done with the book. He wants to read another book. Herbie pulls out an advanced book. The fact that Franklin is even
Reading Charles Darwin at that age
a
is crazy.
novel.
Yeah.
And of course, y'all know how they always put like a novel that pertains to what's going on, because she was reading a little caterpillar
Mm.
to him. So you know how Marvel do, they put little Easter eggs and stuff like that all the time. She goes and looks for a book that is more age appropriate. She comes back. As she's walking back, we hear the little
Like a portal sound or
the
something like that.
portal sound, kind of like the same portal sound we heard with John Krasinski in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. The
Okay,
same
yeah.
little thing that he
Like the
comes out of.
cane tick when they
Yeah,
were, yeah.
all of those. Yeah, cause yeah, they all descendants. I be forgetting it
No, yeah.
of Kane. She comes around the corner. She's activating her invisibility stuff. Just
Just in
she
case
got that
shit.
thing on her.
Yeah.
I might need to use that. She comes around the corner and it's pretty much Doom looking at Franklin. Franklin looking at him like he been knowing him.
Yeah, Franklin's like touching his face. Franklin's
He's
touching his
not
face.
afraid.
We can't see his face. It's like we see this part of Doom with the hood on, and Franklin just in front of him touching his face,
And it's Doom because he has the mask in his
and
hand.
the mask is like
So
sitting right by on the side of him, where it's visible that it's Doom. So it's like, and that's how it
yeah,
goes on.
and knowing what Doom's face looks like, the fact that he's even comfortable enough even talking to this baby and not being afraid of scaring him away, we already get into the shit.
Yeah.
Like we
So
know what type of time
and
he on.
and a lot of people are trying to to figure out because they did leave a couple Easter eggs in the movie about
Latveria.
Laveria, like when Sue was doing her world councils and world meetings, Laveria representation wasn't there. If you know from the comics that Doom is the dictator of Laveria, so that was kind of when I seen that in the movie, I kind of nudged. I was like, yeah. So with the post credit scene and the Easter eggs throughout the movie, I kind of think that I don't. It's either you think that that's the Tony from our time somehow messed with time and he became Doom. That's gonna be in Doomsday. I don't think it'd be like that. I think that Doom will come from 828. I think so. I think that um I just think that he's just going to look like Tony. I don't think that he's going to. I don't think there's going to be our Tony. A lot of people saying they think there's going to be our Tony from 616. I don't think it's going to be the 616 Tony. I just think it's going to be somebody who looks heavily like Tony that happened to be Doom in this universe 828. that's just
Yeah, I think they just gonna go the comic book accurate route of Once Upon a Time in Another Universe.
like a what if type.
Tony was Doom.
Well, I don't think it's gonna do that. Well, that's a possibility. I think that
Cause I'm about to call him man Tony Stark.
yeah.
Robert Downey just like since then posted some stuff on Twitter where Secret Wars. Of course,
Mm,
he's been showing that comic book. He had another comic book
yeah.
listed next to it. I'm sorry, it's drawing a blank on my mind. The only reason why I feel like they're just gonna do the whole Tony became Doom in another time frame is because I kind of agree with some people saying that they think that Doom doesn't exist in the world of Fantastic Four First Steps.
I don't think so.
Because in my mind, I'm like,
I don't think
during
so.
this time, we've always seen Reed and Victor Von Doom consult with each other, whether they wanted to or not. Even in the Josh Trank
But
version, even in the
and
previous
I
ones.
get that, and we know why we didn't see any kind of Doom in this movie. So because we're leading into Doomsday, we got like a year and a few months until Doomsday comes out. So it was no way, unless besides that post credit scene, that we were gonna see Doom. They did reference him. So with them
But
referencing
do
him,
when you say they referenced him, are you talking about the fact that they even put Latveria in the?
yeah, that's a reference.
It is, but it's showing that Latveria still exists within that story.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily mean that Doom exists within Latveria.
That's true, but the reason why I think that Reed does know who Doom is in 828, one, like I said, that wasn't gonna show Doom in this movie from they were not going to show the Doom from Latveria in this movie, knowing that Doomsday is coming out. They were only going to show Doom, any reference to Doom in the post credit scene, which they did. But and two, they lingered in on it. Like there wasn't just a shot just to be a shot. They were letting you know that something's up with this.
Yeah, I feel like when I
It's
when I
either it's
saw
either
it and I saw it the first time they did it. I
because
sometimes
I'm bad. I'm very not to cut you. I'm bad at catching clues. I caught that. Like it was clear as day. Laveria's representation is not here. So that was like, okay, now I kind of see
he
why I think that they're
nudged me,
going.
but I had already saw it, and the
Yeah,
only reason why I didn't
and I never catch clues
I
like that.
didn't
So
overreact to it is because sometimes when these studios do certain things with movies, sometimes they blatantly put stuff like that in your face for a few different reasons.
mm,
It could either be there's something up with this, or just to raise the question of anything.
yeah,
They could not even have a leader of Latveria right now.
that's true. And to kind of, I know a lot of people say too, which I do kind of agree with. He transported in. Now he could transport from one spot. He could have transported from the 828 Laveria to the Baxter Building in 828. But that's kind of why use all that technology when you can just show up like
It depends.
yeah.
It
So
depends. Like when we get to Doomsday and him and Reed are face to face, it could be a whole "who are you" type of situation, or it could be I thought you were locked away type of
yeah,
situation.
like
The Doom in Latveria could have very well, like how we saw at the end of um the Silver Surfer Fantastic Four,
mm-hmm,
that movie. He was supposed to have been locked away by the time we got to Silver Surfer because in that version he was shipped off in the shipping containers, but when we came back to the Silver Surfer version, he was let out.
yeah, like
And he was let out by
the surfer
the
showing up the power, kind of like freedom or whatever.
yeah. So they
But
could go in the direction of he was never let go.
well,
He
I
stayed
just
contained.
think I think it's kind of the I think the Doom in 828, if there is a Doom in 828, I think that his country is totally he's comfortable with just running his country how solo from a part of the world. Hence, that's the reason why it wasn't any representation at the World Council. Um, and I think that him and Reed. I think that Reed knows who. I think Reed and Sue knows who the leader of Latveria is. I just think that I don't think that he's doomed per se yet. because you got to realize whatever universe Reed is in, the second smartest person is either Stark or Doom.
Hmm. And they both
They're either
they
gonna be
won't
Stark or Doom,
exist in the same.
depending on what universe you in. So you
Yeah.
got Reed, who's the quote unquote smartest, and you got Tony, who's second, and or second or Doom, depending on what you're talking about. So my theory is when Galactus shows up, because just because Laveria and Doom wasn't shown in the movie, they still know what the fuck is going on. Why the fuck is this big motherfucker in the sky trying to get their baby? Why is their baby so fucking special? Like why? I think that I think if this is just based off my theory, is that if Doom is from 828, from that Laveria, I think Galactus showing up put Franklin on his radar for
Yeah,
him to
for sure.
become Doom. That's what I think.
For
But
sure.
I could be wrong. But
And it's making me want to go back and watch the season finale of Loki season 1, because the story that He Who Remains was telling about how it even kicked off with the Kanes. And I know we're moving away from Kane. I know.
it's still
But Reed
still
Richards is
general
still
story. They're still telling us somewhat of the same story. So.
Reed Richards is still a descendant of Kane.
Mm.
Like it's not lore. It's comic book accurate at this point. We know this from comic books, whatever. I feel like that story he was telling of how the Council of Kanes even came about, it could possibly give some intel into some of this. Maybe it can,
Maybe.
maybe not.
Maybe.
Or maybe I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it in the sense of, because it started off with the three worlds on top of each other. I don't know. That's just crazy to me that how that's not connected no more. Even if we take Kang out, the story is still the
I
story.
think it is. I just think they're just telling it with Doom instead of Kane.
But
I think it's
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
Yeah.
replacing it with Doom
Yeah,
rather than telling it with
yeah.
Kang, because that still is connected in some type of way.
Yeah. Like
So
Reed is very, like, he knows about different universes and different dimensions, so he's very qualified, because that's obvious, because they're gonna come to our universe. How they gonna get here? Reed knows how to already do that.
which
So
makes the end credit scene of Thunderbolts even more puzzling.
yeah.
Cause who is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Them people didn't get on no ship and leave
Yeah.
nowhere. So
Yeah, man. So that's my theory, man. I think that I think that is the same Doom from 828. I think Galactus showing up put Franklin on his radar. I don't think he was like Doom at that point in their universe. I think that you got to realize it's 4 years later. Franklin's older. He's had a lot of time to do a little bit more research on who Franklin is. You know what kind of powers he have, and why the fuck this giant ass entity wanted him so bad. And I think Doom did his research. He's like, okay, now I can build what I want to build, but I need Franklin. So
I
but at the
blame
same time, he could very well be the Tony that did the snap at the end of Infinity War.
I
So
blame Nathaniel Stain.
who you blame him?
It was a joke.
Oh,
Cause I'm always saying Ezekiel Stain.
oh yeah. But so yeah, man, that was Fantastic Four. First Steps, amazing movie. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, go see it. Then go see it again. I think it was that good.
Is it the best? We'll do a separate video on it.
If it's the best way, let's kind of tease it a little bit.
Is it the best Marvel movie since
Endgame.
Endgame? Catch us in the next video.
Yeah, we'll yeah.
Because
We'll answer that in
we
another
need
video.
we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because is Marvel back?
That's a whole another video right there.
I'm gonna give Marvel this one, because I'm not giving them Deadpool and Wolverine, because to me, Ryan Reynolds did most of the legwork with it. To me, so
Okay.
I don't give that to Marvel.
A better way to answer the question, to ask this question is, did Fantastic Four First Steps do enough to intrigue you for Doomsday? Like, did it do its job of getting you prepared for Doomsday? Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. So we'll talk about that in another video, man. But in the comments, man, what did you guys think about Fantastic Four? What did you guys see in the movie that we missed? Leave it in the comments. Any theories about is that our Tony that did the snap on in Thanos and Infinity. I mean, in Endgame, is that is that just a Tony Stark lookalike from 828 who is actually from 828? Is that Doom? Is it that Doom? Is it another Doom that we didn't mention? Like, who do you like? Leave in the comments which Doom do you think that was and where did he come from? Leave all that stuff in the comments, man. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
All
I
right,
touched
y'all.
on my points.
Like always, thank you guys for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until next time, man, we'll see y'all next one.
Peace.